Remember, they're changing my voice. On the issue of rape, okay, I've said it many times. Everyone outside the divine order deserves something much worse than rape. That's why in Isaiah 13 and other places in the Bible, it says that the enemies of God will be raped. Okay, and in Revelation and Isaiah, they're thrown into a lake of fire where the smoke from their torment goes up forever and ever. So when we see some kind of, satanic guy who gets raped, should we feel sorry for him? We see some kind of satanic female who gets raped. Should we feel sorry for him? Well, it's rather unfortunate that they didn't become moral people so the righteous person could truly, truly feel a profound sorrow. Okay? That's rather unfortunate. It's unfortunate that some scoundrel who deserves to get flogged for eternity raped her. So make no mistake, there should be moral outrage involved. But those females who throw the righteous under the bus are dumber than a tree, so to speak. And I like trees. If I grab a piece of fruit from a tree, for all we know, and we haven't accounted for all the variables, the spirit of that tree might very well resent it initially. They might be like, here, I'm glad to give it to you, you're the Son of God. They might resent it. They might regret it initially, and then later on, resent it initially, and then later on say, okay, my spirit is content that you're the Son of God. I don't like people picking from my trees. They feel violated. Well, if a female is adverse to righteousness, and she refuses to choose the most righteous man ever, no matter what, okay, then she is wrong on a level that goes far beyond rape. So when we look at this thing, the only circumstance in which forcing a female is okay, and obviously it's not something I would do, mind you, would be if I was to do it. Why? Because they are dumber than that tree. And God put that tree there with something I want and arguably need for me. And then put that tree there, okay, for a fish to eat that apple, for example. That's not what that tree's there for. The tree's not there so a fish grows legs and picks up that apple. And so it is with a woman's vagina, a woman's body. It was not put there for a fish to grow, to turn into a man and have sex with. It was put there for a man to have sex with. That's why she has pleasure centers in her brain. Okay? Which incidentally is better to trigger it with love than with erotic desire and dildos and toys and people taking meth and ecstasy to prolong their pleasure. That's a story for another day. The point I'm making here is very controversial, but it's very obvious that I'm right. For those of you who are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he says, go to Psalm 45 in your Bible. It says, the king will desire your beauty. He is your master. You must submit to him. You think some worldly king dog? You think the king, the prince of this world, he's royalty, the devil? No. The righteous man, which is only me. Go to Proverbs 16:12. Kings detest wrongdoing, including romantic injustice, for a throne is established through righteousness. Now, if I had to tell a female, hey, you better come with me, if I had to say that, her failure is catastrophic. She deserves to be thrown into the lake of fire immediately. If you come face to face with Christ and he has to tell you, you better not reject me, my goodness, it's not something I would say, mind you, at least not at this point. I can't imagine the circumstance I would say, but if I had to say that to you, because I'm being shunned by women, woe to you and your family, woe to you, and woe to whoever impregnates you if that happens, and woe to your children. Because you were so fucking dumb. So fucking dumb. You look at a society that's a rape by deception society. They're fooling you into sleeping with scum, frat boys, nerds, brutes, corrupt cops and government officials and military, rich scum. When money's the root of all evil, you're like, I'll date them gladly. I'll give them the pussy any day of the week. People throwing satanic symbols on TV. That's rape by deception. The devil's deceiver. All satanic sex is deceiver sex, which means it's rape by deception. Those people who protest it, they say rape is wrong, rape is wrong. Yeah, you're right, rape is wrong. But you're not there to correct that wrong. You're there to reinforce your particular version of rape by deception, you fucking controlled opposition, wolf in sheep's clothes dogs. But if I The one person insisting on romantic justice by their actions and not just their words was to say, you are not right with God. You are dating scum. You're following your own mind, which is a pea brain, less than fucking Neanderthal mind. Instead of obeying God through me and accepting the divine verdict is on my lips. Proverbs 16, a universal argument, mind you. Is the righteous verdict on the righteous man's lips, so to speak, or the wicked one? And you know what I mean. It's on the righteous man's actions. It's on the righteous man's words. What I'm saying to you with my words and my actions, when combined, is do what is right. Nobody else is. Because they're doing what is wrong, and their actions are saying if they're doing what's wrong, and they think they know something, especially if there's some kind of, well-decorated person in society, that you may as well do what's wrong too. A lot of you are confused. You have any questions, put in the comments. Don't be like, well, I think that he thinks that he should be allowed to rape. That's a dumb fuck. I'm not going to rape anybody. Okay? That's not what this video is about. But I am telling you stupid fucks that if I did, I would be justified. Because how fucking dare you, on behalf of rape by deception, deny the most righteous man ever? Any attractive woman he chooses to mate with, how fucking dare you, sniveling, less than Hoggle, less than Crossbones and Red Skull and Lex Luthor type of trash? How dare you? Especially you conservatives who voted for Trump. You people who brag, after you deceive them, you can just stick your finger in a bitch pussy, right? How dare you organize rape by deception social club dogs even think about uttering a whisper against God and I? How dare you convey the orders of shunning the most righteous guy ever? If I took your wives and had my way with them and chopped them up, I would be justified. Because they don't belong to you, you fucking worm, in an invalid marriage. They belong to God Almighty. And you are denying him through his gate, that which is his. And for those of you who don't speak wisdom, you speak agnostic bitch, okay? The idea, the principle of a source of moral precision in the energy of people, because you don't believe in the spirit. It's actually a spirit, but the energy can work to explain to the agnostic who doesn't understand the spirit. Just what I can explain to them that they must accept is true. They must then know that I'm right. Whether they act like a sniveling bitch that never grew up, some kind of sniveling coward or not. Okay, the source of moral precision, the beginning of it, and the continuity of it, and where it's found and where it's not. When he who is in the energy and principles of moral precision approaches an attractive female, she should choose him because that's the right choice. That's the right path. That's the right and righteous thing to do. That's being in your right mind. Being criminally insane is not knowing the difference between right and wrong. How can you say that that all females who right now, all attractive females right now, are criminally insane when it comes to divine law, universally true laws of right and wrong? How can then she then say, hey, you know what? I'm not interested in you because I'm only interested in some fucking buddy of my race because I'm a dumb bitch. Or you're not my type because you're not a skater who worships the fucking devil. You're not a businessman that worships the devil. You're not a rich fucking devil fucking worm at the most important time to be righteous in history. That's pathetic. In the information age, that's what you get from it? I'm sure you're smart enough and competent enough to make your own decisions, and you shouldn't be taken prisoner by the righteous man and forced to be right and to stop denying me that which God put there for me until you bitch-ass motherfuckers started breeding dumb, less than Barbie doll-faced sluts who were incapable of having the basic human decency to not reject the most righteous guy that ever lived after their races have a long history of racism, stupidity, tribalism, and other pitiful philosophies. The logic to reject me and to still be right does not exist. And I am naturally a greater warrior, and people who are in their right mind would naturally gravitate to that and naturally follow me. And women would naturally admire me. So people who are actually human. Wouldn't reject me. So what are you, worms? Because you're not humans. What are you, thieves? Because you're not humans. What are you who are forged by rape by deception? When you work out, it's the exercise of rape by deception energies. You who are made every speck of your body from rape by deception outside the spirit of righteousness and moral precision. Because you're not human. You're going into the earth, so to speak, because you're inhuman. Because you don't have humanity. Humanity would not allow any attractive woman, whether in this superficial marriage with 10 kids or not, to reject the most righteous guy ever saying, I want to be with you because I need a suitable helper, and I'm the one guy doing the right thing, and everyone else not only is doing the wrong thing, but they've been doing the wrong thing so long they should just shut their mouth and agree. It's a very sad day when people can't acknowledge this argument by their actions, this universal and morally precise argument. You see, in the construct, you say, well, that's wrong. What about her kids? Her kids who are growing up to be little rattlesnakes? What about them? When Jesus comes to you and says, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. You must do what is right. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. You don't know better than me, and I want her right there. And that's fair game. When David beat Goliath, okay, he was owed Michal. And at some point, she ends up marrying someone else because of the politics at the time in the story. Then he goes back and says, that's my wife, and I want her right now. And the guy follows her crying, and she ends up being taken back to him. And this is on his rise. This is on his further rise after he beats Goliath. God isn't mad at him for this. God said, you are the king, and that particular judgment, not the same as Bathsheba, mind you, that particular judgment is correct. Because the logic is there for it. So whether or not she's married and has 8 kids or not, doesn't matter. Because the moral logic is sound. Now with Bathsheba, it was a different story. David basically sent someone out to die so he could marry his wife, someone who was loyal to him. And that was not fair game. So I rebuke all the attractive women that there are and there ever will be for their refusal to obey God. Your orders after I'm gone is to kill yourself fucking immediately. Because you are an extreme ill-gotten fucking gain. If you are alive after I'm gone, why? To be eye candy for the wicked? To reproduce with the wicked? To have sex with the wicked? To make the wicked feel better about being a sniveling, wicked, coward, beta, bitch acting bad? What are you here for? Why are you people here? When I say that pig the other day, why are the attractive female members of your family, how did they get in here? Because this is not your pig fucking planet. This is my planet. I am Christ. You're just a pig. Okay, I'm going to do a little more explaining here. First of all, it is fair to tell people that under certain circumstances that they should kill themselves. For example, that if you're about to get tortured and raped to death and you know that for sure, and you have a chance to kill yourself, what do you think you should do? Okay? So that covers that. It's just a matter of exploring philosophy and logic, and you quickly see I'm right if you write it down on a piece of paper, what the situation is, what my argument is, what the possible counter-arguments could be. Now, in regards to the police officer-looking person, right? Maybe it was a security guard, maybe it wasn't. Hey, basically what had happened is my dad's car had broken down at the hospital. Okay, and these people are speaking code to me a lot. So, to be fair, I don't know exactly what he was getting at, what's going through his mind. Maybe the government hacked his brain, I don't know. But what he said, certainly, and how he said it, and the tone he said it, suggested a threat. Okay, they said if it happens again, after I had an angry fit where I was talking about people like him the day before, he said, if it happens again, tell him to let us know and we'll be happy to jumpstart him. Now, it sounds like, hey, it's a kind offer, da-da-da, if you weren't there and you don't put it into its context. Okay? And, I think he started off by saying, how did you get in here? And of course he was, one could assume he was referring to the special area of parking. Okay? And, it was like, I'm saying that, obviously if they think you're somewhere you're not. So, the logical assumption is, to make a long story short, because there's a lot of ways to explain it, but none of it will be to my satisfaction or anyone else's. but I'd say it